Hey, let's talk about Ash Wednesday and some of the meanings behind it, some of the purposes behind it, and Lent. I'm in a horrible traffic this morning, so I thought, what the heck, I'll talk to you guys, because it's going to take me about 10 minutes to go another, half mile or so before I can make my right turn. So, in this time, hey, so what's the meaning? It's Ash Wednesday. What does it mean? I'm a Protestant. I'm not a Catholic. I'm a follower of Christ. So what does it mean to do Ash Wednesday? To have the ashes marked on your forehead? Where do the ashes come from? What's the purpose behind it? So I went ahead and I'm as a Protestant, it's a less predominant thing. I would say in my church, probably less than 5% of the people show up for Ash Wednesday service tonight. That's one of the things that's different between Protestants and Catholics. Catholics will do an Ash Wednesday service. It's kind of an all-day thing. We'll do an Ash Wednesday service tonight, and the ashes are representative of, among other things, in Genesis, we're told, from ashes you came, and from ashes you'll return. As it's kind of like at a funeral, they'll say ashes to ashes, dust to dust, and that's kind of where that comes from. The idea is the ashes represent something, the past, and the ashes are also representative of the bad choices that you make, the fact that you are you are an incomplete person. You are not where you're supposed to, where God wants you to be. So the ashes typically come from the palms from Palm Sunday, the palm leaves. And being Protestant, we're very loose about a lot of these things. Here in the Northwest, there's ferns everywhere, right? Because it's a very high moisture environment. And ferns are pretty much everywhere across the United States, but there's enough moisture for them. But we have a lot of moisture here, so a lot of rain, and so we use ferns, and we call them Northwest palms. So we're not using the actual legitimate palm from Palm Sunday, but that's the idea behind it. The palms from Palm Sunday are burnt. They're dried out. They've been sitting around for months and months and months. And then once they dry out, they burn them, they save the ashes, and they use them for Ash Wednesday, sorry. And so, but Ash Wednesday is a representative of the beginning of Lent, and Lent is a season of reflection, a time of a time of preparing for the coming of Christ. We have the coming of Easter. So, our points as a Protestant. Okay, I'm going to speak from the point of view of a Protestant, is that we're going to give up something, okay? And that's something, usually it should be something representative so that it's a certain level of sacrifice. Perhaps it's a type of food. Maybe it's something on the internet. Maybe it's the internet entirely, okay, for you. I hope not, because then you're not watching my videos. But if that's what you have to do, I want you to do it. Is the internet an issue for you? So maybe it's, for me, this year, you look at this belly right here. For me, I'm sacrificing fast food. Why is that a sacrifice for me? I have a habit of fast food. I have it way too much. I spend, it's not the money. It's actually, it can be cheaper to eat fast food than it is to eat healthy food. But the idea is I have a habit. I need to break that habit for my body and for my walk with Christ, to give me the energy to do what I need to do, and to maybe get rid of some of this belly. I'm going to sacrifice that aspect of my life for the next 40 days, and it's to improve my walk with Christ. And other years, I've given up Facebook. Okay. And what came out of that, I did it for a few years in a row. What came out of that is I would learn the things that never change on social media. The fact that oh my gosh, do I see a flare? So, the things that actually no, it was a railroad crossing bar light going up. So what I learned from giving up Facebook for 40 days and then returning to it is I had been very politically active on Facebook, and it taught me the redundancy of it, the fact that I wasn't helping anything and I was actually hurting standings and other things and driving people away from me who I actually love. And yeah, I'm talking to you, Phil, if you ever get a chance to watch this. So I learned that about social media by taking that out of my life for 40 days. In this case, my hope out of 40 days of not going to through eating any fast food, I'm going to get healthier. I can utilize the time, like on the drive into work, instead of stopping off and getting some horrible breakfast sandwich. I'll have a healthier breakfast at home, and I can use some extra time to talk to you, maybe, or spend some time with my wife. Reflect on God. The idea really is to take the time that you would be doing the bad thing that you're giving up, the thing that you probably that the ashes are representing, the sin in your life, or whatever it is you're elevating too much that you're giving up, and you take that time and you put it towards for biblical purposes. It might be volunteering instead, digging into the Bible more. So these are some of the reasons why we would do Lent, and good habits come from it. It's a 40-day thing. It's 40 days is a very representative thing. The origins of it go back to about 900 AD. The Catholic Church instituted it. I think there was a certain level of it. There's a practical purpose behind what they did. One of the things that they, because the Catholic Church would typically, the entire church would perform Lent all together, and if you were going to be in the church, you were going to do it, and it typically is giving up meat and giving up alcohol. Okay, were the two things typically, and then Friday they would be allowed to eat fish, and Sunday was a day off of Lent, because you're attending church and you're celebrating. So these are the things that they would do, and I can see the practical purpose in 900 AD of getting people to not eat meat very much, to preserve the meat supply to a certain extent, because you had just gone through a harsh winter, and allow the meat supply to replenish to a certain extent. The game out in the woods to replenish for hunting, things like that. And alcohol, well, let's face it, alcohol can be a horrible thing. It's of abuse. There was probably a lot of alcohol abuse back then, just like there is now. So getting people off of booze for 40 days, or at least reducing it, would clear their heads and prepare them for the new season. You'd be ready to start planting because your head would be much more clear, and you'd be ready to get out there and work your fields and work your crops much better. So those are some practical reasons behind it. Today's reasons, like I said, I mean, this, for me personally, swearing off fast food for 40 days is going to be a huge boon to me on the whole. It's going to help me physically, which anything that helps you physically has the potential to help you spiritually. Our bodies are a temple that God has given us, and we should take better care of them. I should certainly take better care of mine. Other people will swear off alcohol. I know a lot of people will swear off sugar, that do that on every single year. They swear off sugar. That's very difficult to do. If you take a look at your ingredients at the store, look for the sugar in it, and anything that ends in fructose, TOSE, anything that ends like that, saccharose, saccharins, your INEs and your OSEs, all those are a form of sugar. It's very difficult to swear that off properly and actually get away from it. So these are a few of the challenges that people meet in Lent. So, what are you doing for Lent, if anything? Comment about it down below in the comments. Are you attending Ash Wednesday service? Is there an Ash Wednesday service at your church? Not every church has one. Are you out there still curious about Lent? There's a lot of good resources out there. This was kind of a deacon rambling here, and I am signing off. As Bible and Blues signing out.